Did you know Dr. Sarah Lance from Queensland took newborn babies' umbilical cords in 2013? She tested them through the Queensland University and she found on average 200 synthetic man-made chemicals in their little umbilical cords. I don't know if that's acceptable to you, but it is far from acceptable to me. Our babies are being born pre-polluted with these chemicals in their little umbilical cords and in their bodies, and unfortunately, their little bodies do not have the detoxification ability of an adult. Their endocrine system isn't developed, their nervous system isn't developed, and nor is their immune system. So these chemicals pulsate through their little bodies, and then, sadly, unbeknown to us, like for me, for example, I didn't know that the chemicals in our everyday products were petroleum based and that they consisted of about 8 different classes of chemicals, namely carcinogens, which are cancer causing. In fact, the FDA states that almost 1 in 5, almost 20% of all cosmetic products contain formaldehyde releasing chemicals. So what does cosmetic mean? Cosmetic means skin, hair, beauty, personal, baby, oral care, fragrance, perfumes, candles, anything you find in a cosmetic floor in a department store comes under the banner of cosmetic. Now, unfortunately, these chemicals are getting into our little babies' bodies through what Professor Mark Cohen calls maternal transfer. That means that one of the fastest ways, and Mark shares this often when we're talking, one of the fastest ways that we detox as a woman is to have a baby. We dump the fat-soluble chemicals that our body has stored that it can't get rid of, and our bodies can't get rid of so many chemicals because we place such a chemical burden on our body. So what we do is we transfer those chemicals to our babies in utero, and that's not acceptable. So that's how babies are being born, with these chemicals in their little umbilical cords. Now, that study that I mentioned earlier is actually now being emulated around the world, and on average babies are being born with 230 plus synthetic man-made chemicals in their little umbilical cords. And as babies have roughly double the skin surface per unit of body weight that we do as an adult, when we then apply nasty products that contain so many chemicals on their little bodies, they absorb proportionally more. So another class of chemical, I mentioned carcinogens. We also have endocrine disrupting chemicals. They're your xenoestrogens, the one that mimic the female hormone estrogen. We also have neurotoxins, which are toxic to your brain, immunotoxins, developmental and reproductive toxins. We have teratogens, which are known to cause birth and embryo defects. I could go on and on and on in relation to the different chemicals found in our everyday products, and I encourage you to do your research yourself. Have a look at my website to avail yourself of research, or come along to one of my events. I can't wait to share information with you to empower you, because unfortunately we assume, and unfortunately wrongly so, that the products are safe on our shelves, and they're far from safe.